1954 to 2000, Lviv Vocational School. From May 4th to 10, 1954, Kyiv Vocational School was relocated to Lviv and, in accordance with the order of the USSR Ministry of Internal Affairs, was renamed Lviv Fire Technical School of the USSR Ministry of Internal Affairs. For its placement, a historic building in the central part of Lviv was provided. In 1955, Engineer Colonel of the Internal Service Kelyadinsky was appointed head of the school. The first graduation took place on July 12th of the same year, when 179 graduates were awarded the rank of Technician Lieutenant of the Internal Service. The previous system of recruitment was preserved, but the required education level was raised to at least 9 grades, while the age limit for working personnel was set at 26 years. In 1957, graduates of the school were issued a new blue uniform without shoulder boards, with insignia placed on the collar tabs. This uniform was in use for only 1 year. All cadets admitted to the school were required to have a complete secondary education. In 1962, Colonel of the Internal Service Popukailo was appointed head of the school. In 1965, a decision was made to increase the number of cadets and to shorten the training period from 3 years to 2.5 years. The following year, in 1966, the school was subordinated to the Directorate of Educational Institutions of the USSR Ministry of Public Order Protection and was renamed the Lviv Fire Technical School of the USSR Ministry of Public Order Protection. In 1970, Colonel of the Internal Service Zozulia was appointed head of the school. On his initiative, a large-scale reconstruction and improvement project was launched, which included the renovation of the school's interior premises and corridors, as well as the upgrading of classrooms, laboratories, and lecture halls. From 1974, Colonel of the Internal Service Sevrek was appointed head of the school. In 1975, due to the expansion of the school's premises and territory, further development and improvement of its educational and material base began. In 1980, 459 members of the personnel took part in ensuring fire safety during the sailing regatta of the 22nd Olympic Games in Tallinn. For exemplary service, the school was awarded the Certificate of Honor of the Presidium of the Supreme Soviet of the USSR and a distinction from the Olympics Organizing Committee. From 1984, the school switched to a 2-year training program, admitting only those who had completed compulsory military service. In 1986, personnel from the school took part in the liquidation of the consequences of the Chernobyl disaster. Among them were Lieutenant Colonel Belenko, Lieutenant Colonel Lebed, Major Sednitsyn, and 9 cadets, all of whom were awarded the Medal for Courage in a Fire. From February 21st to August 8, 1989, the personnel of the school, organized into 3 temporary consolidated battalions, 200 members each, carried out a peacekeeping mission to maintain public order in Nagorno-Karabakh. The battalions were commanded by Colonel of the Internal Service Kosovchenko, Lieutenant Colonel of the Internal Service Kolodiev, and Lieutenant Colonel of the Internal Service Pastukov. For exemplary service, Colonel of the Internal Service Kosovchenko and Lieutenant Colonels of the Internal Service Kolodiev and Ilnitsky were awarded the medal for distinction in the protection of public order. A truly historic and significant milestone for the school was the order issued by the head of the school on August 24, 1991, for the first time in the Ukrainian language, entitled On the Democratization of the Educational Process. This order removed party political subjects from the curriculum and prohibited the activities of all political parties and organizations within the school. A turning point in the life of the school, as well as for the country as a whole, was the act of declaration of independence of Ukraine. The school's academic staff took the initiative and, in 1993, became the first educational institution of the Ministry of Internal Affairs of Ukraine to switch to teaching all subjects in the Ukrainian language. In 1993, the position of rector of the vocational school was introduced, and Colonel of the Internal Service Herzai, who had been serving as head of the school, was reappointed to this role. On his initiative, new directions were opened in the school's activities, particularly in the improvement of the material and technical base. In 1994, the restoration of the chapel located on the vocational school's grounds began, after it had long been used for other purposes. In 1995, on behalf of the Lviv Regional State Administration, the vocational school was presented with a new flag featuring Ukrainian national symbols.